Hello, welcome back to another market outlook, commencing 23rd of March 2025. So today we're going to be going over what's likely to happen going forward. So as of right now, we're seeing rejection of these highs, and it's crashing lower. What we would want to see by the end of March is for price to close below this. If it does close below it, then what will happen is we'll have more confidence saying that it won't want to come up closing that like for the next month before it goes down. The reason being is because if it does close below it, it will create a balanced price range over here, this and then this fair value gap overlapping. The next thingy is where it's going to go for this coming week. So from here we predicted it's going to go up. However, it didn't move up as much at all. The reason being, previous week large range, this one is gonna keep it small. The next week we predicted it's gonna start climbing up towards it. However, it took the low one last time, but also took the high, and we were waiting for it to break out of the range of last week, which it finally did on the Friday. So we had to wait that whole week until it did so. So the range here is pretty much, it created a low, went higher, and then lower low. So just done it from here to the low. You could also do it from this high as well. So that's the range. And on the Friday, it broke it. So originally we were considering, our main bias was higher. When it started to seek lower, we're predicting, alright, does it want to reach here for price then to seek below this high before it reached into here. However, we're seeing right now how prices broke higher. So now we've got this, right? It gives us a load of information. Reason being is because now that it's broken higher, we know it's going to accumulate higher and higher and higher until it reaches a smart money reversal. Which it reaches a smart money reversal, we would likely see distribution lower. So right now, accumulation, now manipulation, accumulation, potential reaccumulation, manipulation, smart money reversal, and then distribute lower. So it's creating a market maker sell model at the moment. That's what we're predicting right now. So with that being said, we're now waiting for price to come back into the middle of the consolidation. The reason being is because the middle of the consolidation, it's going to want to keep above it now that it's broken higher. If it wants to continue higher up into the fair value gaps above. So how far do we reckon can it go lower? So we've got this right here. We also got that. So let's check on the 4 hour. That'll be in the middle. The other one would be around here. We could just do that right now, to be fair. Let's delete that. Alright, there. So this wick's on the weekly. That's the 50% of that wick. Not only that, that's the order blocks open. Only wicked above it, didn't significantly close above these three candles, so it may want to come into the lowest candle of the three, um, or potentially the high of that candle. So we're looking in between this range here for it to go down to, like, that's the how far next week can move lower before going higher, if it is going to go higher, which we are predicting. So that will leave us in this area for it to target. That is that fair value gap, which is in that vicinity. So we'll potentially look for price to run up into here. So we'll see how Monday does. If Monday decides to seek lower, it will seek lower here, and if it starts rejecting, coming back higher, then we'll look for buys. Originally, we need to look at news, so when the news is going to be playing out. So for that week, Monday, we've got a lot of news. We've got Tuesday, we've got news as well. So Monday, we've got 9:45 news. We've got 5:30 news for pound. We've got 4:30. We've got 4:15. So Monday is gonna be pretty hectic. So if we see it take the high, wicket, and then start to seek lower, we'll potentially see it raid these equal lows into there, and then we'll start to see what the later of the day wants to do. But yeah, primarily Monday bearish, but ideally respect off it quickly, and then for Tuesday start to go up further higher, potentially. Let's check the 4 hour. So if it goes lower, next day higher, it will create equal highs, or potentially go up to there. Wednesday, we've got CPI for pound, we've got dollar news as well, and then Thursday we've got major dollar news 8:30. Friday we've got 8:30 news as well. So if that's the case, we're seeing heavy news week. So if Monday does that and comes up a little, and Tuesday decides to take the high, come back lower, Wednesday CPI may take it lower into a fair value gap to then come higher, potentially at least into 50% of this fair value gap. So that'll be what, Wednesday. Thursday lower again, use this as an inverted fair value gap, and then look to come up higher, potentially into there. Friday we can see here, and then look to come lower. So if we move this, so that was this week, you can see created the low. So because it's in a range, it's going to ideally come not continue. So high, optimum trade entry, low, reversal, optimum trade entry, taken out. So that worked. Now we're seeing what it wants to do for the next thingy. So for the next one, if it does want to come lower, potentially create an optimum trade entry. So if it creates like equal highs, relative equal highs over here, creates optimum trade entry, comes up for Tuesday, then comes lower for an optimum trade entry, and on Wednesday comes up higher, continues higher until Friday, to then come lower. So it works with this, works with the fact that it's exited a consolidation area, and it is also, if you look on, pretty sure the weekly, this is after it broke past this inverted fair value gap, broke structure and it went lower. So this is what I'm using as the range. So change of character to the low that created. If we do this, that is just to the close, and I prefer using the close because body of the wicks is where majority of the volume is. It will see this is the optimum trade entry that we're looking for price to go up into. So we'll look for price to reach up into around this level. This is the inverted fair value gap, potentially come up into there, but that's on the monthly, so bear in mind. If it does come up for this week, next week it's going to start off at the end of the month, so that Monday's got to bring it back lower. Reason being is because on the month we want to make sure it's closing below here ideally. So on the weekly, if it does come up into around there, want it to start heading back lower. However, ideally we just want it to close past the midpoint of it. That'll be alright. If it does that, then we'll likely see it come up, use it as an inverted fair value gap, and then come back lower. So that is what we're predicting for dollar. So now that we've got the dollars prediction out the way, so the reason why is because these equal lows are intact. It's going to reach there at some point. Went up there one final time to come back into optimum trade entry. It just went lower to that 0.618 level, and then to come back optimum trade entry, come lower. So ideally higher time frame for the end of the year to reach into here, potentially into there, but yeah, we'll see later down the line. But because of that, we're looking at bullish prices, well, for now, bearish into here and then bullish later on. So now that we've got that out of the way, on the weekly you can see respect to the 50%. If we do this, you can see 50% is here, so it has the opportunity to come back up into here. That perfectly lies with the low of the bearish order block over here. Highest up candle, low of it, has the potential to come up into there to then continue lower into there. So we look on the 4 hour, we can see if it is to go up into there, would want it to break that high, wick past it, come below, to just fill that remaining fair value gap which is left open, and then for it to continue lower. So that's what we would like for Monday to show us. So let's go on the one hour. Reason being, it makes sense really. 1 hour. If it breaks that point, it's breaking this point, which means it's going to around the same level. If this drops lower into there, this can drop higher up into around there. If it does seem to go a bit more higher, highest I'd see it go is into there before it starts going lower. So if we've got that as the bias, that is our bias right now. It's going to be refined closer to the date, but that's our initial weekly bias. We'll find that on Monday. If it decides to reject off of it and then continue lower, obviously we can then start to look to reduce that stop loss. But yeah, that is our bias for pound dollar, bias for dollar. We're going to do a bit of ES and stuff as well, because broaden, well, not ES, US 100, we're just going to use this. So for this week, what we're predicting is kind of the opposite for opposite of dollar. So on the weekly, right now it's moving in tandem with dollar, and if this is gonna go up same as dollar, reason why I believe that right now is because this is the range that it created. It broke past it, went to 50%, came back up, went back down to 50%. So if it's going to go lower, we'll go lower into that 0.5% of that wick, and then look to go higher into that liquidity void. And once it reaches that, if it wants to then continue going lower, it will continue going lower into further into this fair value gap. But yeah, then bonds. So the reason why we have more confidence that less likely to go lower than higher is because on bonds we see it wick past the high but closed below it, and on the weekly it's refusing to go past that high. So if we are going to see it go lower a bit for this week, potentially could go lower into this inverted fair value gap. So let's just change it to an inverted fair value gap, potentially into there. So on the daily, yeah, just at least like wick below here. It will take out these equal lows, ready for it to continue higher. So yeah, that is our biases. So we've done dollar, done pound, done bonds, done US 100. Now we'll do this. So let me add. This is how I do it. New pane, new pane, new pane. So AD, Euro, New Zealand. Alright, so what's good about this is the fact that we can see the relative strength of each one. So if we look on the daily, we can see that out of these, so this is the high, right? AUD in New Zealand are weak. Euro and pound are strong. So it's better to focus on one of these for buys and one of these for sells. However, the reason why we're confident with pound dollar and euro dollar is because it's already went up. We've got an area which is more relevant and easier to see, which is this fair value gap. Fair value gaps here. Like here, for instance, you can't really distinguish. All right, it's going to take this low, but potentially to this wick here, but it's a lot harder to distinguish where it's going to go. Here, less so on the other, less so on this one, because you can be like, all right, take this equal low into here. So yeah, that's our predictions for all of these. So we've finally saw that break lower. So it's less of an idea now that it's going to take that before it reaches into here. So yeah, that's what we just want to see. But yeah, if you enjoyed, please leave a like. If you want more of these, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. So yeah, peace out and enjoy.